Hello, hello. We are back every Tuesday and Thursday with amazing guests. This Thursday, we're going to have Steph Kirchow. He's one of the best LinkedIn lead generations experts that you will ever see on LinkedIn. He's actually closely, he's working with Yasmin Alich, the number one creator in the world on LinkedIn. So we will be interviewing him and he'll be giving us some great tips. Last week we just had an awesome time with doctors and health and everything combined. Next month we're going to have a very special guest. He's amassed $115 million in sales in the last 2 years. Um, to be announced, we're going to share the name soon. It's a huge name in the coaching space, so be aware for that for next month. But for now, we are going to have an awesome LinkedIn live session with the amazing Dr. Linda. She has really conquered aspects in regards to finding happiness, finding purpose. She's been through struggles. She's been through things that no human should be going through, but she's came out the other side prevailing, and she has such a positive attitude. Just having a brief chat with you right now, your energy is amazing, and so let's get right into it. So Dr. Linda, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm very sure that people will find you very valuable and very refreshing, especially when confronting the new year, right? And so uh, we are going to get to know her story, and also we are going to get to know how she helps her clients with the amazing program that she has, Coachable, which is amazing. So, without further ado, Linda, can you go into like your story a little bit? How you got into like helping people, how you got into being a best-selling author, an award-winning author in that journey? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much for inviting me. First of all, before we jump into it,
Sure.
I'd just like to share a compassionate note. I
Yeah,
know there's a lot
please
of
do.
things going on in California, so I just want to send
Mm,
some prayers and thoughts for all who's affected.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, so I just want to
good
express
point.
that
Yeah,
that note. And yeah, so for that introduction, thank you so much.
no
I
problem.
just want to say that that's beautiful introduction, but also I just want to share also that I'm very aware that there are other people who's doing it worse. So I'm very blessed. Yeah.
Mm,
So my humble beginning was that I was born at the end of the Vietnam War, and so I was a kid that has nothing, literally, like didn't have anything much. I didn't even have color pencils. So that's how basic my
mm,
life was. And I think that's what Jordan means by, like no one should go through that, because kids these days are so lucky, aren't they? Like kids these days have the world in their fingertips, with
yeah.
iPads, with
Mhm,
iPhone and everything. So I didn't have anything like that. And I never even know what a computer looked like.
mm,
And, to think back, I actually never really used color pencils until the time I came to Sydney, Australia at the age of 15. Isn't that crazy to think back? That
mm,
is like so crazy, right? Something so basic. So, yeah, so I come from very basic beginnings. I didn't know a word of English when I came. And growing up here, I was literally told that your English writing is terrible, your grammar is
mm,
horrible.
mm,
So, but regardless, despite all of that, I was really blessed to have an incredible mom and dad who literally live with the abundance mindset. And I know it sounds very, you
mm,
know, modern words, but back then we didn't know these kind of words or vocabulary. It was just the way they were. I mean, when we hear of wartime these days, right, it's just crazy to hear the war happening, or how, when
mm,
we hear about Amons in Ukraine, we're like, this is crazy. But can you imagine someone actually go through the wartime for 30 years? 30 years is a long, long time, right? And so I don't know how they did it. My parents were still able to give and give and give and support others. And that was just how I grew up. And I think it's with that mindset that imprinted in me
Yeah.
was what helped me to keep moving every step of the way,
Yeah.
regardless what we have, what we don't have.
Exactly.
And that was how I was able to being very humble, very blessed to be able to achieve every single dream I have so far.
Beautiful.
And
Wow.
so,
Amazing.
yeah, so even though when I was told that my English writing wasn't good, it didn't it didn't just make me sad or like lose my self-esteem. It was more of, okay, this is the feedback I'm getting. How do I do it? How can I improve it? What can I do? So each step of the way, I took the feedback positively instead of negatively. I could have been like anyone, right? I could have said, oh, yeah, my English is terrible. What am I to think to write a book? All of these negative self talk, which amazingly I didn't have. All I had was like, okay, my writing is really bad. What can I do? Like, it was a lot of tears, right? A lot of tears, like, what can I do? Like, so I have to study. I have to find ways to learn. I got to practice and practice and practice. So, with a lot of tears and self compassion,
Yeah.
to let myself be, to say that it's okay, this
Yeah.
is who I am. So when you embrace yourself for who you are, it's such an empowerment that I did not
Yeah.
know
That's
back
true.
then, but to think back, it's such an empowerment
Yeah.
that you will put yourself in a place of it's okay, and
Yeah.
I get it. I can do this one step at a time,
Yeah.
with a lot of tears, a lot of hard
Oh
work.
yeah.
When I first came, because I didn't know a word of English, everywhere I go, I bring the dictionary with me. Like, we didn't have
Mm,
iPad, right? We didn't have
yeah.
iPhone, right? It was a physical dictionary, and it
Mm,
wasn't even a fancy one. It was like a secondhand, just like this little, this little. And
yeah.
I didn't even know how to use it really, right? But I just have to bring it with me just so that I can just flip the page if I need to.
Hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
how I began to learn my English. It's like every step of the way, one word at a time, one word at a
Yeah.
time. And the interesting thing about writing a book is that if anyone who's listening and if you aspire to write a book, just remember this, okay? Just remember this. A book is compiling all the pages, right? A book
Hmm.
was with many pages, and
Hmm.
each page has got paragraphs of words. Each paragraph is consisted of words. So if you just write one word at a time, one sentence at a
Yeah.
time, one paragraph at a time,
Yeah.
because there's so many people who aspire to become published authors but could
Mm,
never gone through the journey of
yeah.
finishing the book because it's hard, it's long, it's complicated, but it isn't. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
So my whole life, how I've been able to achieve every single dream I have so far,
It's good.
including having a bridal shop, being a wedding dress designer in Sydney,
Amazing.
Australia, 24 years ago now, and I won awards and been featured in wedding magazines, traveling the world.
Amazing.
I visited Alaska 25 years ago, being around the world. I started teaching. I've been teaching in different settings, from preschool to high school to senior homes to men's letter workshop when I didn't even know how to do letter work before I get invited to teach. So basically, every single dream I have so far was one principle: simplicity.
Yeah.
Don't make things too complicated. I talk about
Yeah.
it in my book as well. Often with smart people, we like to make things complex.
Yeah.
We like to have
Exactly.
this component, that component, and we combine it together. We get the satisfaction
Yeah.
because it indulges our mind and our creativity and our intelligence. But then we trip over. We trip over with the complexity. So if you rewind back down, right? if
Yeah.
you come back to the basics, simplicity is what allows execution. And that's when
Mhm.
you can achieve your goals a lot faster if you could keep
Exactly.
it simple. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that that is a great attitude, and it's like really maintaining that energy, that spirit of living is really important, especially when going through trials, right? Because when going through hardships and going through trials, you may not have that same kind of let's do it, let's like gung ho spirit, but it's just like even if we're just like hanging on by a little bit, just like maintaining that glimmer of hope that everything's going to be okay, everything will work out, everything has a purpose, right? So a little bit about that. Was there any key like moment, or maybe of course there are many moments of your life where you kind of like, okay, I'm on the right track, I need to do this now, I need to do that now.
So let me just double check the
Sure.
question. Are you asking, is there any moment that confirms that I'm on the right track? Is
Yeah,
that what you
exactly,
mean? Right.
exactly.
I see. I see. Um, Not exactly. Not exactly, because
Good
for
answer.
me, for me, it wasn't seeking affirmation as I
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
My journey has been a little bit different in a sense that
Mm,
I am I've been told as I was growing up, I'm a dreamer. Like, stop, I
yeah.
literally get told, stop dreaming. I share it in the book as well. I
Yeah,
literally get told, stop dreaming. I literally live in my dreams in my day life. But
that's good.
I also have been blessed because of that
Yeah,
innocence. I have
exactly.
been able to literally carry my dream into my real world. So it wasn't
Amazing.
like I want to do that and I want to check, am I on the right track, or
Yeah,
I have this
exactly.
end goal. I have this end goal, and so I make sure that I have achieved it. It wasn't exactly like that. I
Okay,
know in business we need
got
to.
it. Yeah,
I know that in business you set your goal, you set your
yeah,
revenue target, and
yeah.
all of that. But for my life dreams, it
Hmm.
has always been that I aspire to do this, or I aspire to be
Mm,
this. It's more
great.
so to be than do.
Ooh,
And
okay,
so
got it.
once I have that inspiration, I just took action and
Okay,
I just enjoy my journey. It wasn't like
yeah,
I have a date and time that I need to meet that
that's
goal.
great. That's
It,
great.
it was
Yeah,
it was like I aspire to be this,
wonderful,
and so then I just embark on a journey. How can I do it? How can I make it work? Let's keep going, keep
wonderful,
going,
wonderful.
keep going. And then one day I'm just like, here I am. And
Exactly.
so that's when people around me doesn't see that struggle because I'm
Yeah,
in my
exactly.
flow. And
Hmm.
so then therefore it's like my success is the overnight success because they didn't see the struggle. They said, oh,
Exactly.
now Linda is an author. Oh, now she's an artist, because
Yeah.
I also have done art. I've also done art, and in 2016, my self-portrait was selected as the finalist for the Women's
Ama-
Art Prize on the theme of equality.
Amazing.
Now, that one, it's also important to my story, because remember that I didn't even have color pencils when I was in Vietnam.
Hmm.
And so after I come to
It meant a lot.
Australia, I was like, the first time I saw an art gallery, I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? Like, I have not even had color pencils. And I was like mesmerized. I was like, how do artists do it? How do you have an exhibition? And I would just daydream about it. I would just daydream about it until finally in 2015, I've traveled the world. I've become a wedding dress designer. These are all my early childhood dreams, by the way.
Mm,
And I've done the teaching. Okay, so now next thing is naturally the art thing that I've got to do it, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
so I just get into the motion, I just get into the flow, and I just did it. And then I participated in exhibitions and more exhibitions, and each time I won awards. And so it wasn't like, okay, there's a deadline. Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta you gotta meet the deadline. Am I on the right
awesome. That's
track?
great. That's
So
great.
it wasn't
I think that's
exactly
the
like
best way.
that.
Yeah. The reason why I asked that question is because A lot of people need that confirmation, right? A lot of people like need, oh, you're doing a good job, oh, you're on the right track, and so they absolutely, I mean, like, which is okay, obviously, because to each your own, but it's so important to follow your own way also, right? In some, like, even if it's the wrong way, because we learn from our mistakes, right? And so what kind of attitude do you have towards your mistakes?
The attitude towards the mistakes is always learning, like you just mentioned
Mm,
already, right? And never beat yourself up. Never beat yourself up, right? So
mm,
whenever I make a mistake, it's a funny word I say, okay? Oh, sugar banana.
yeah, exactly.
that's my that's my mistake word. It's like, oh, sugar banana. Like, what
Yeah,
did I do, right?
yeah.
And so then I would pause. I would say, okay, there's three questions that I ask myself, and I'll
Mm,
call it my
good.
three wise
Yeah,
guides. And I
wonderful.
would love to share it.
Sure, go
So
ahead.
the three question is that take a pause, and the first question is, what am I doing?
Mm,
What am I doing? Bring myself back to the present moment, bring myself to the focus. The second question is that why?
mm,
Often we
yeah,
forget why we do what we do.
yeah,
Why am I doing what I'm doing?
exactly,
That again brings back to your purpose, your passion. Why exactly are you doing this? Are you doing
exactly.
this for personal gain? Are you doing
Yeah,
this for recognition? Are you
yeah,
doing this because you're called to do so? Right.
yeah,
And then the third question is, how can I do it better? Right. Especially
yeah,
when you make a mistake
exactly.
now, right?
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
if you keep doing the same thing, you cannot expect a different results, right? So then
exactly.
how can I do it better? I sincerely believe that these three questions will carry you through life. It doesn't matter whether you're the king, the queen, the president, it still serves you, or
Yeah,
whether you're in kindergarten. That's why I call
exactly.
it the three wise guide.
Yeah, that's
It,
great.
it can guide you, right? And so that's what I do is that just pause, take a conscious breath. I talk about the three conscious breath in my book as well. And
Mm,
then just
nice.
ask yourself these three questions. It will help you to refocus, realign, and how to move forward better.
Exactly, exactly. I think, well, well, it all depends, right? Because I think many business owners are trying to gain clarity, right? And they struggle with that, right? Maybe they're successful, but they can always, maybe they lack humility to ask for help to be more clear. Maybe they don't enjoy what they're doing fully. Maybe, I mean, there's a lot of ifs and involved in, like, gaining clarity as a business owner, right? Obviously. So, what is your advice for people to gain clarity to begin with, and as time goes by, to make sure that they're gaining even more clarity toward their true self?
So, the number one thing is know your value. We
Mm,
cannot gain clarity unless we know our value, right? If you know your value, what do you hold is your so-called motto or philosophy of life, or what do you do for what you do? What do
mm,
you do? Why do you do what you do? Right? And that brings back to what is important to you, and those are your value, right? Is family more important to you? Is
yeah,
achieving your goals, like being someone that is created
yeah,
something? Do you need to be
exactly.
known
Yeah,
for the creator of something, or
yeah,
are you just happy with your own life the way you are? Basically, work out your value. For example, if family is important to you,
hmm,
then you know that you do the things that will actually be more focused with family.
yeah,
Even if you go to
exactly.
work, you need to balance your time to come back to
Yeah,
the family.
yeah,
Or if you say that at this point in time, I don't have a family, work is more important, but what brings you joy? You kind of like have to work out about yourself,
hmm,
understand yourself, know
yeah,
thyself first. That's why one of my main thing is self leadership, right?
yeah,
When we can
exactly.
lead ourselves well, we can lead our business, our community well. So to gain clarity, you need to understand yourself and your value. Once you understand your value, you naturally will know whatever you're doing is aligning with your value or not. So you're checking
Yeah.
all the way whether it's
Exactly.
aligning with your value. So for me, it's not so much of the end result in terms of how many dollars. Of course,
Yeah.
I aspire to create $100 million company
Yeah.
with Coachable,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But along the way, you need to make sure it aligns with your value, because if it
Exactly.
doesn't, you would not be happy. And if you're not
So true.
happy, you cannot be more creative. And if you're not creative, you cannot achieve the work at the optimum result.
Yeah.
So to answer your
Exactly.
question, how do you gain clarity? Number one, know thyself, know your value, realign. And then number two is realign the value with what you're doing. Then you know whether you're on the right track or not.
Yeah.
For example, am I happy talking to people more, or am I happy doing more behind the scene work, like technical work, right?
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
if you're checking in all the time, then you won't feel so off track.
Yeah.
Because I have spoken to so many people, they could be earning lots of money, but they're still not happy, right?
Exactly.
They're still not happy, and so that's misalignment there. And when
Yeah.
you have misalignment, you don't have the clarity on where you want to go in life, because it's
Exactly.
not all about just making money, right? But
Yeah.
because it's about being happy. But how do you be happy? To be happy is about aligning yourself with your
Mm.
energy of being truly content with yourself.
Hmm.
I write a book about connection, the currency to happiness, but I barely talk about the word happy, but it's
Yeah.
more about true joy, the
Yeah.
inner joy that you experience, right? You could be eating pizza and you're happy for a few moments. You could be
Yeah.
eating ice cream, you could be happy for
Exactly.
a few moments. But those moments don't last, right? What you want to do is align yourself so that you can
Yeah.
feel true joy. And true joy is something that stay with you longer, right? And the
Yeah.
more moments of true joy that you will feel more authentically yourself,
Yeah.
and it's more internal than external. And so
Exactly. Mhm.
doing all of those internal work will actually get you in alignment. And with alignment is when you gain clarity fastest. So every moment of the way, once you align yourself with what you do, with your passion and purpose, the clarity, it's just so clear. Yeah, you gain this clarity every moment of your life, and you just live in in your element, in your zone.
Yeah.
And so then you don't have to keep seeking clarity all the way. I hope that
Exactly.
answers the
Oh
question.
yeah. No. No. Yeah. Absolutely. I want to spend some moments about your book as well. Um, what can you say about? I'm just copy and pasting the link to Amazon for it right now.
Thank
Um,
you.
I think it's there now. So what can you say about your book and how can it help people?
With the book, it's I call it a storybook, right?
Mm,
It shares a lot of the way of life in Vietnam, but also it shares a lot of the positive thinking. I call it how to make things work when things don't work, because I didn't have anything,
mm,
right?
yeah.
And so it has a lot of quotes and a lot of tips. How does it help people? From my readers' testimonials, it shows that it showed them a different way of finding happiness,
Ooh,
and it's the
wonderful.
most simple way. And many of my readers have become published authors from just reading the book, and
Wonderful.
some have told me that they carry the book around. And even Dr. Bermash, he has the book at his work desk. He said, Linda, any day I feel wobbly, I just flip your book open. Whatever page I open to is the page I'm meant to read. And after that, I feel better. I have moms who say they put it in the handbag wherever they go, they carry it with them. I have business women who took it on the plane. I have another marketing director. He was stranded, so called, on a flight delay for 6 hours in the city, and with someone who from the politician um, industry in the field.
Mm,
And that council was going through some transitions in life and said, "Here's Linda's book. You should read chapter." I don't think he said 8 or 9, and he gave her the book. It's just so heartwarming to hear that people has been sharing it. And then I have another professional. He's going through transitions, and he said, "Linda, I'm going to travel the world now, and each city I go to, I'm going to leave your book for someone to read." And so I think, to answer your question, how does it help people? I think it's been helping people in a number of different ways: how to see happiness, how to
Wow,
see life in a more
that's
positive
great.
way.
Very valuable.
um, for people who aspire to publish the book, it gave them the courage to know that if this girl who came from Vietnam, didn't know a word of English, could do it, they could too. And so
Exactly.
that's all they needed. That's
Yeah.
all the encouragement they needed. I,
Exactly.
I even have a mom who said at the time, she said, "Linda, nothing helped. I went to doctor, nothing helped." And but luckily at the time, her friend gave her my book. And she
Mm,
said it was my book that helped me, see everything differently. And she was a
wonderful.
mom with a twins who was like only 2, 3 years old. And you know how tough it is, right?
Yeah.
And so it helps not only yourself, but because once you become happy, if you're a parent, your
Yeah.
partner will benefit, your children will benefit, right?
Yeah.
So it's been helping people to see how to make things work when things don't work, literally.
Yeah. Well, oh, wonderful. That's extremely valuable. So, for the 10 to 15 people that are watching right now, there's Linda's Amazon link and also her link to her website. She's been through amazing transformations for herself, and she's very, very, very qualified to give advice. Might add, because she has a lot of qualifications. Not only that, she's been she lived through a lot of experience herself, and she came up on the other side. And so along with that, I want to spend a little bit of time discussing your journey, and then we'll go into like coachable as well, right? Um, so as life progresses, of course, everyone goes through struggles and everyone goes through trials. And so can you describe some struggles, like um, gaining the international best-selling, being an international best-selling author, and also some struggles that you were almost gave up, but then some. Of course, it doesn't have to be some miraculous thing, but it could be, like some. It's that the I think it's that the inner little voice that tells you to push on, right? So, just so that people can relate to your struggles a little better, and also, um, which is the most important part, how you dealt with those struggles as well.
Sure, sure. There are so many struggle moments in life,
Yeah.
right? There's so many. So when I first came to Australia, I didn't know a word of English, right?
Mm,
And so it wasn't easy. If you could just imagine for a moment, I'm going to teleport you, okay, to the opposite to see if you could
yeah.
get a feeling of what I felt. So I was only seeing black and white TV growing up, right? I didn't have color pencils. I didn't know what a computer looked like. Never been in a car, never seen a right?
Mm,
We go everywhere by 2 feet walking or on the bike, right? Or the Vietnamese sit low is our kind of taxi, right? That's how old my world was. My kids will laugh like, "Mom, you come from the dinosaur world." And then suddenly I was teleported over here with everything completely different, right? Everywhere you go, you
mm,
have to get in the
mm,
car, and I have
yeah.
motion sickness,
Exactly.
really bad motion
Yeah.
sickness. And so, if you were to imagine, I teleport you to Mongolia, say, for example, right? And there's no iPhone, there's no YouTube, there's no Facebook, LinkedIn, anything. right? And you can't speak the language, and there's no microwave for you to reheat the food. You gotta do everything like the way they did. That was how it was like for me, except it was a lot more overwhelming, because for you to go back in the basics is actually you have the advanced knowledge to understand the basic. Whereas for me to go from basic to the advanced world, it was overwhelming. So that was the biggest struggle, right? And to make it worse, in Australia, the distance is quite far to get to places. Now I cannot travel by car. So it was really hard because I get motion sickness. So to go to school, I walked a whole hours, rain, hail, shine, hot day. One day it was really big rain. I walked a whole hour. By the time I get there, I was all soaking wet because the umbrella didn't hold. The wind was blowing. So
Mm.
there's many, many moments, right? For example, when I was writing the book, I never wrote a book before, right? I didn't have exactly a mentor. I did sign up to some courses, but you know how online courses are like,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right.
Hmm.
So it was really difficult with lots of tears. But what get me through is your aspiration.
Yeah,
And when your aspiration is truly aligned with your value, this comes back
yeah,
to value, right?
exactly.
That's when you will pull through. That's when I say it's okay. Like a lot of
Yeah,
tears. Allow yourself to express though. Don't pretend to be cool. Don't think that I
exactly.
got all of this. Nobody got everything. Even the
Exactly.
highest ranked person, they're still figuring things out every step of the
Yeah,
way because we are working the next level, right? The next level. So we're
yeah.
always figuring things out. So the number one thing is loads and loads of self-compassion.
Hmm.
Just give yourself the permission to express, at least to yourself, right? At
Hmm.
least to yourself. If you need to cry, just cry. I cry loads of tears. I cry loads of tears in order to be here I am, and I'm still crying loads of tears, right?
Yeah.
And my community, Three Hearts of member knows that. All my Three Hearts ambassadors, they know that Linda cries so easily. I share that in my book as well. That's one of my flaws, but I have embraced that to be my identity, and that's why I
Hmm.
embarked on this journey of publishing the book,
Yep.
Three Hearts and everything. So
Amazing.
the aligning value is this. I know as my flaw, I have a surplus of compassion. That's why I cry easily. And because of that compassion, when I was younger, I given myself the wrong identity because everyone said, "Oh, Linda, you're too sensitive." So I thought that that was my flaw. But after becoming a mom, after looking after children, I know that that's my superpower to have the
Yep.
surplus of compassion. And
Exactly.
because of that compassion, I published the book because two teenagers who took their own life due to cyberbullying.
Hmm.
So when the going gets hard, I remember my purpose.
Yep.
I have to write this book. I write it because of those two kids. Now, I don't know these two children. I never met
Yep.
them.
Hmm.
One of them I saw on the news. A beautiful girl took her own life at the age of 15 because of cyberbullying. To
Hmm.
this date, I still don't understand how, because she was so beautiful. She was literally like a model,
Yeah.
tan skin, brunette hair, green eyes. I don't watch news, Jordan, right? Because I would
Yeah.
feel really sad when I
Yeah.
watch
Me
news.
too. A little bit. Yeah. Hmm.
The only time I saw that news was when I was signing into my email and the news just popped up and she was just like staring at me. Like I still remember that look. She was just like staring at me. And I could not, I still get goosebumps as I tell this story.
Hmm.
I just could not hold my tears. My tears just keep pouring and pouring. And then the very next day, I heard another news. This 11-year-old boy, the girl was in America, this boy's in Australia, right? A friend on Facebook said her son at school, his buddy took his own life due to cyberbullying. I was like, I cannot understand who anybody at this age could do that. Again, I couldn't hold my tears. I just like couldn't hold my tears. And that's when I felt compelled to share the book. Because at the beginning, I wrote it only for my children. I wrote it for my children, but after I wrote the first draft, I saw these news. And that's when I decided to publish it because I thought if these children have someone to connect to,
Yep.
perhaps they might still be here,
Yep.
right? And so I just thought the book couldn't just be for my kids. And because of that aspiring goal that I had, when the tough gets going tough, like to answer your question,
Yep.
it was loads of tears, but loads of compassion. It's okay. English is not my first language.
Yep.
It's okay. No one says writing a book is easy. Otherwise, everyone would have published a book, right? Even
Yep.
English teacher might not have published a book, right?
Exactly.
So
Hmm.
writing a book is not just about English writing. It's a whole different ball game together, and that's what I teach people now.
That's
And
great.
it's okay because a book doesn't just pop out just in 1 second or 1 hour or 1 day.
Exactly.
So I give myself lots of healthy dialogue to back myself up, to support myself along the
Yeah.
way. I
Exactly.
was being my own buddy, I was being my own coach, I was being on my own guide each step of the way. But
That's
the
great.
the the three magic word, it's okay. Two word, three sound, three syllable. It's
Exactly.
okay. Always tell yourself, it's okay. It's okay. Then each step of the way, just one little step of the way, little step of the way, keep going. Just don't break the momentum. That's most crucial. The minute you break your momentum, it's really hard to get back in. But
Yeah.
back yourself up, be compassionate, and just keep the momentum and just keep going and remember your aspirations.
Yeah.
Now, notice I don't use the word goal.
Hmm.
Goal
Yeah.
seems to be like a big end that you have to meet, and it comes
Yeah.
with pressures. I have to
Exactly.
meet this goal, otherwise I'm a failure or I won't
Yeah.
do good. But if
Yeah.
you remember aspirations, it pulls you forward. It
Yeah.
pulls you forward, and it makes it a lot easier than you have to push yourself towards that goal.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
that's the different kind of energy that you work with, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of successful people would tell you, would know that it's all about the way we're being
Hmm.
and the energy that we carry with ourselves to get us to the aspirations a lot easier than just focusing on goal and the pressure to get
Yeah.
there. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. 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 Most definitely. I mean, a lot of people like have goals, obviously, for the new year, right? And when they don't come to pass, they get disappointed, right? Because they're pressuring themselves too much, right? Obviously, and so it totally makes sense. I mean, like what you're saying. So I just want to get into Coach Jabal a little more. So if for the 12 people who are watching, if you turn your attention to the comments, I'll put her coachable website down there for you to check out as well. So, what is your vision for coachable? Why did you start it, and how does it help people as well?
So, how does it help people? It helps people by being able to showcase the amazing coaches.
Okay,
So, coachable. If you're looking
wonderful.
for a coach, come to Coachable. Coachable is where the whole hub with all amazing experienced
Mm,
coaches. That's how
wonderful.
I help. I want to be able to help
Connect people.
everyone to achieve their goals and dreams because I've been able to achieve mine.
That's
So, as an entrepreneurs, we all are expected to wear many hats, right? Just because we have something that we want to offer, a product or a service, now suddenly we are a business owner and suddenly we have to wear many hats. You need to know
exactly.
accounting, you need to know PA,
Yeah.
PR, you need to know everything. No one's know everything, right? No one knows
Yeah.
everything. And so that's
Exactly.
why I invite different coaches with different skill sets there. So anyone who needs to learn any skill, just come to Coachable and achieve your goals. Because as entrepreneurs, we are on a very lonely journey.
Yeah.
We do everything ourselves. We don't have colleagues like 9 to 5, right, to bounce ideas. And so I'm trying to tell everyone, entrepreneurs, it's a lonely journey, but it doesn't have to be. Just come to Coachable
Exactly.
and reach
That's
out
good.
so that the coach can help you.
Yeah.
And the
It's yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Mhm.
and the reason why I started it
Yeah.
was because when I was running my Three Hearts community, so just backtrack a little bit. I published a book because of two kids who took their own life due to cyberbullying. And the minute I decided to publish the book, I just have the vision that if we have three hearts connection hubs all around the world as a safe space for people to connect and share, those two kids might still be here. And with that compelling feeling, I launched Coachable. And when
Yeah.
I was running Coachable, I discovered that a number of our coaches in our community had to give up the coaching business to go back to a 9 to 5 job because they couldn't get clients
Mm,
because of COVID, right? Prior to COVID,
yeah.
they were with networking event. That's how they get clients.
Yep.
And online marketing is very extensive, very expensive, and time consuming and effort consuming. And at the same time, I discovered that 72% of entrepreneurs have self reported with mental health concerns. And
Yeah.
that's why I want to marry these two group of people together. And
Yeah.
that's why Coachable is formed. So the
Good.
vision for Coachable is for everyone to flourish.
Mm,
Everyone who uses the platform or participate in the platform to flourish. Because like if you are a coach, I want to be able to help you get clients. And if you are a
yeah.
professional who want to achieve your goals, I want to be able to help you gain those skills that you are looking for to gain in order to move forward so that you can flourish in your business or in your career.
Yeah,
And so
that's
that's
great.
the vision of Coachable.
That's great. That's great. Most definitely. So how can people get a hold of you? And do you actually do coaching yourself, or what what vision do you have for 2025 for yourself, coachable, and your own business?
Yeah, so I still do coaching when I'm
Okay.
invited. Like I don't advertise myself. I have never had people just come to me,
Okay.
but I haven't put myself on Coachable at this point in time because I want to respect the space for all the coaches. But
Mhm.
more and more people are requesting. So I might, if in the meantime, if you're a founder or a professional who like to work with me, just send me a message on LinkedIn or
Yeah.
on Facebook or um, I'll be happy to see where I can help. But
Mhm.
for 2025, my goal is to grow Coachable as fast as we can,
Mm,
not because of the numbers or anything, but mainly more and more people need our help.
yeah.
For example, with the disaster happening in California,
Mm,
everyone will need to reestablish themselves.
yeah.
I remember how it's like when it happened in Australia in 2019 and 2020. The fire will just continue and so many businesses were affected, right? So
Yeah.
we need more help. If you are an experienced coach, please get in touch with me. I would like to feature you on our platform so that more
Yeah.
people can come to you for help.
Beautiful.
If
For
you
sure.
are a professional, a business owner who needs help with any particular help at all, just DM me, send me a request. I will do my absolute best. So 2025 coaching is going to be big.
Yeah.
It's going to be so big. It's going to be
You're
so
right.
much needed. And
Yep.
so I have worked so hard. I worked through Christmas and New Year, which I never have
Yep.
in the past. In the past, when I was working for someone on a 9 to 5 job,
Yeah.
I would break from the 20th December right through to like 15th January, or
Yeah.
after Chinese New Year. But I have been working so hard, particularly this past Christmas and New Year, to build a second version of Coachable website to make it better. So I would say anybody who are interested in coaching, just get in touch. Just get in
Yeah.
touch. And yeah.
Exactly. And again, the link down below, coachable. And when the new website is live,
Oh, this is the new website.
this is a new website.
This is
Awesome.
the new
Oh,
website.
looks good.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. This new. So okay.
Yes.
So the new website is in the comments there,
Yes.
guys. So
We will
yeah.
improve it as we go. We will
Yeah.
continuously improve. Yes.
Yeah, good. So, uh, again, we do have 10 people watching. I really, really want to stimulate or or maybe motivate people who are watching right now. That 10 to 12 people are watching. Let us know where you're from in the comments. first of all, let us know if you have any questions for Linda. She's absolutely amazing person who's been through a lot, and also she has like this vibrant personality. And so if you have a struggle or if you have question for Linda, please let us know down below, and she'd be more than happy to answer it for you as well. So I just want uh, to wrap it up. I ask the question, like I know that you let us know sort of about the vision for Coachable and yourself for 2025. So how about your own personal growth? What do you want to see happening in 2025 when it comes to your own personal growth? And you talk a lot about value because since we're imperfect humans, right? We tend to think like in a negative way, and that means that we have to value ourselves more, right? So, um, in terms of valuing yourself more, in terms of aligning uh, true to your vision, uh, what are some things that you are going to do in 2025?
Number one thing is health.
Yeah,
Because as we all know, your
good.
health is your wealth, right?
Yeah,
Without your health, you
very
just
good.
cannot create
Yeah.
anything else. So for the past year, I have set too much like everybody else, trying to
Mm,
work on Coachable and
yeah,
launch it.
yeah,
So for my personal goal this year, it's a lot of more outdoors. Everybody who
yeah.
knows me
Awesome.
previously, like
Yeah,
you live on the beach. I love the beach. I
yeah,
just come
yeah,
back from a mini holiday, in fact. So I love the outdoor, and this is not just for me. I hope that
yeah,
this is for everybody. Let's
yeah.
focus on our health more
Oh
in
yeah,
2025 so that
yeah.
we can thrive, right?
Let's do it.
Be outside more, get in touch with
Yeah,
nature,
yeah,
be by the beach if you can. This is my super healthiest, quickest, easiest way to rejuvenate myself is to go to the beach. When I go to the beach, the sea has this I share that in the book as well. The sea has amazing nature has amazing power to heal, full stop. But also the sea can wash away your sorrow, wash away your heavy energy, and replenish you with new energy. The sea salt is
oh
amazing.
yeah,
So go to the beach if
amazing.
you can. If you live somewhere that you can't go to the beach, I'll give you one quick trick, one quick tips to overcome that. You know that we have the amazing tool of YouTube, right?
Yep,
Internet, right?
yeah,
Anything. If you can't physically be by the beach, go to the beach through your
yeah,
mind. Our
exactly.
mind are
Yeah,
powerful. Load up an image
that's
with
true.
the ocean.
Yeah,
Load up an image with the ocean. Sit there,
yeah,
breathe
that's
it
true.
in,
Yeah,
absorb it through the
imagination.
virtual screen,
Yeah,
because even that will do you some good. That is another form of meditation
yeah,
without having the hard work of meditation, right?
exactly.
Now, if you don't like, if you're not an ocean person, go to nature. If you love animal, play with animal, like go see
Yeah,
animal.
exactly,
Again, if you can't do it
exactly.
physically,
Mhm.
do it virtually.
Yeah,
So 2025, in order to thrive, we must and we need to focus on our health. Your
yeah,
physical health, when you go out and move about, it will help with mental health.
yeah.
When it comes to mental health, don't tell me that it doesn't affect you. It affects every single one of
It
us.
does.
It doesn't matter if you're the king, the queen, the president,
Yeah,
because we're all human beings. We are all affected every moment because of the ups and downs and the rise and everything that we do. Every single moment, our mood changes. Every single moment, our emotions, right, get affected, whether high or
yeah,
low. So
exactly.
go outside, get into the movement, and you will stay fitter, and then it will help with your mental health as
Yeah,
well. And that
that's
will
great.
also break up the day of sitting for too
Yeah,
long, break
exactly.
up the day of
Yeah,
the intensity at work if you have a
exactly.
stressful day.
Yeah,
I know it's not easy, but we must make an effort now. If you
yeah,
really busy cannot get out, I'll give you the easiest way, okay? I'll share that in the book as well. Just get up from your seat, go and get a glass of water.
Yeah.
Get up from your seat, go and get a glass of water. I tell people to drink water all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
In my book,
Yeah.
in my coaching, everywhere.
Yeah.
Water, water,
Water.
you need to
Water is
drink it.
life. Yeah.
Water is life.
So
So
true.
there you go. So 2025,
Yeah.
personally, my
Okay.
goal is my health, because I
That's
know
good.
once I look after my health, everything will transpire,
Yeah.
everything will follow. I'll be more creative. I have more energy
Yeah.
to design and create
So
things.
true.
And I really hope that 2025, many of us will flourish, especially
Oh yeah.
if you're into personal development. That's why I
Oh yeah.
call the platform coachable, right? Everybody is coachable. It means that we
Yeah.
have a growth mindset, an open mindset, and a growth mindset. And when we have a
Exactly.
growth mindset, we're coachable, because when we have the lifelong learning spirit, we will be forever on a growth trajectory.
Yeah.
It
Exactly.
doesn't matter how smart you are, doesn't matter how experienced you are. Look, suddenly AI happened, right?
Yeah.
The society keep evolving. So we have to be coachable. We have to be learnable in order
Yeah.
to keep evolving.
Exactly. It's a lifelong process, right? For sure. Okay, so Adenkule says, "Thank you, thank you for joining us, Adenkule, for sure." And it was nice to, again, for the people watching and for the people who are going to watch the replay, also because there are many people who are going to watch the replay. Please get in touch with Linda. She's an amazing person, or even on a connect call, she won't bite. I promise. She's absolutely amazing, and be inspired by her story. And so again, the three links that I shared, the Amazon link is to her book. Um, the and then there's one for Linda's website, and then Coachable is of course uh, Linda's networking coaching platform that she has designed. So please check out our links and please get in touch if you need any support from her, and I'm sure she'll be happy to help. So thank you so much, guys, for this. And again, we are having amazing guests next week as well. So stay tuned um, for next week's lineup. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we are booked up until the middle of February, into March even. So every Tuesday and Thursday around this time, please tune in, and we're going to have some amazing guests, some amazing high performers, some amazing people just like Linda. Awesome, and thank you so much, and see you soon.